storage?
Yes.
Okay, storage. Okay, so there are also equipment that are kami na imuhang pagsabot sa okay, attention to me, please. Okay, I am the pilot. Attention, this is your pilot. Okay, so there are also equipment that are required for storage, no? So, alam na natin, na-mention natin some of the equipment yesterday, no? You have the refrigerator, di ba? The freezer, of course, your refrigerator is used to store your platelets, and then you have your, pwede pag-mask mo, ako lang hindi pag-mask. Pag-mask. Ay, kasi mga COVID lang talaga. Ako na yung COVID. Pag gano'n. Okay, and then, of course, you have your freezer that is basically used to store your fresh frozen plasma, your cryoprecipitate, and so on. And then you have also your platelet agitator, which is used to store your platelets. And we have also what you call the incubator with platelet with agitator, kasi yun yung ginagamit natin specifically if the room is less than the required temperature. So pag ang temperature for platelet is only 20 to 24, and in the event na mag-lower ang temperature ng environment, then it is important that we have to place the platelet in an incubator with agitator in order to continuously give the required temperature for those platelet component. Claro? Okay, sige. So move on. Then we have documentation. So documentation procedures is considered to be highly essential or important in blood banking facility. No, kasi inside the blood bank, every step that we are going to do should be documented. From the time the donor arrives in the facility, okay, we have to document everything that happened. So in the event na ma-reject ang donor, we have to also document the rejected donor. Claro? So proper documentation. So we have to, di ba, when the donor arrives, no, for blood donation, then we have to get the name, no, the personal information of the donor. We have to screen whether the hemoglobin of the donor will pass the required hemoglobin. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, the set hemoglobin sa copper sulfate na ginagamit nila is 14, sorry. 14. Okay, so that's why most of the time, no, women, okay, do not pass that requirement, no, kasi mataas, no. Mataas for women, mataas siya kasi 12 lang naman ang normal for women, di ba? But supposedly, but in reality, sa blood bank, wala namang hemoglobin for female, hemoglobin for male. Isa lang talaga yung copper sulfate na ginagamit. So that's unisex, no? So, and it's set at 14. So most of the time, women, no, or females, bumabagsak doon sa hemoglobin. No? Kahit sabi ko, pasado man 12 man ang hemoglobin, pero since nakaset siya at 14, babagsak tayo. Okay, the consideration actually is because, di ba, women, we have our month period, no? Meron tayong monthly period natin, and every month nagpa-pass out tayo ng blood, di ba? So if pila po ang volume sa atong pass out every month, plus the fact na magdodonate tayo, baka mamaya it will end up us being anemic. No? That's why it's set, no? Para if ever na pag-menstruation ka, nag-donate ka, okay lang. Kung bubaba man siya, bubaba lang ta at 12. Kaya isod kayo kung 12, nata sa boundary, kung mo donate ta, nag-menstruation pa dyan tawan na, di ba? Gets, that is okay. And then, aside from that, no, we are also going to, di na sa itong story, anyway, there's another, you've done, I think, donor selection, so you know already, di ba, kung ano yung mga processes or mga tests na ginagawa sa donor. Okay, so, but basically, no, the personnel in the laboratory or in the blood bank facility should document everything, no? And then, so yun, lahat ha, so pag sinabi natin lahat, so medical history of the donor, nandoon din yan, no? So, pag ang donor, di ba, if the donor has the capacity to understand, to read and understand yung form, then the donor can just simply answer it. But pag in the event na no read, no write, no, or mahirapan magsagot ang donor sa form, then we have to assist the donor also. Okay? And then, included sa atong i-document are the components that we are going to extract from the donor, kung ano yun, ang RBC ba, or whole blood ba, okay? Is it patient-directed, or, tawag ito, simply donation lang, or walk-in donor lang siya. So we have to document that, no, sa iyang form. Kung walk-in donor ba siya, okay, or is it a patient-directed donation, so we have to also document that one. And then the date and time, okay, so very, very important ang documentation in order to, for us to follow through, no, the critical steps, okay, in the blood manufacturing process, okay. Ayan, so sinabi ko na yun, yung history taking, collection of the blood, testing, processing, storage, so every step, lahat basically ng step, we have to document that one, okay. So, okay, and then of course, these documents that we are going to get, no, should be placed na may logbook yan, and then nowadays also they tend to transcribe it, no, or nilalagay siya sa computer file, and we have to make sure na these documents are protected, no, from any form of damage, no, kasi pagdating na, kasi during DOH inspection, hinahanap talaga yan ng DOH because they wanted to know what are the documents that the facility have, no, ano yung mga nandoon, nakasulat, ano ang status of the donors, no? So lahat ng yung tinitingnan ng DOH. Okay. So of course, here in the Philippines, as I've said, no, every all blood bank facilities are basically under DOH. So it's DOH also who does the inspection. But again, in other countries, it is your sino? Okay, the Ihbb and the FDA. Okay, so dalawa. Okay. And then aside from FDA and Ihbb, BECS, which stands for Blood Establishment Computer System. Yan. So, merong ibang countries, meron silang mga BECS, no? Sabi ko nga dito sa atin, medyo primitive pa logbook pa, okay logbook, manually write it, and then some facilities also do computerization na, tinatranscribe sa computer. But in other countries, medyo more sophisticated na sila, na they have already the BECS or the Blood Establishment Computer System, wherein all the entries there ay makikita ng mga makikita doon kung anong mga tests na perform, no? Identity of the blood, okay, may mga blood man na quarantine, okay, anong mga reasons why it was quarantine, and everything. Okay, so basically the purpose of that BECS is to help in the monitoring of blood in the blood bank facility. Okay, mahirap kasi kung walang BECS, no? Mahirap pag nagkalkal ka, hala, tugay kahit mangalkal kung wala tayong system, right? Unlike if, for example, you have the system which is merely like plug in the name or plug in the serial number and everything, and then it shows up. Dito medyo mahirap, no? Okay, siguro soon, okay, we will reach, I think, ingana with the status. Okay? What else? Yun. And then, yun siya for the documentation, no? So, lahat yun, no? Yung mga lahat na ginawa ng personnel to the donor, okay? Equipments used during the component preparation, the date and the time, all this, no, are being documented. Whether it's manually documented or it's computerized, but the thing is, it should be documented because at the end of the day, okay, once there is an inspection by the DOH or if in the US it's FDA and Ihbb, patay ang facility if they cannot show anything. Okay? Claro? Then of course, you have here the blood collection and storage, no? So of course, sabi natin, there are equipment that are used for blood collection. And this is of course, one of these is the blood bag. So as I said, if I have mentioned it yesterday, na there are different types of blood bags. No? Meron tayong single bag, we have the double bag, we have the triple bag, and then we have the quadruple bags. No? Maraming klase-klaseng blood bags. The use of the blood bag would actually depend on the type of component that we are going to manufacture. Okay? So if we are going to just manufacture whole blood, then there's no need to use double, triple, or quadruple bag. Pwede na yung single bag lang kasi whole blood lang naman. No, if we're going to, like for example, manufacture plasma and pack RBC, okay, then we can use the two bag, no? And then if we're going to manufacture the platelet, then we have to use triple bag. So dapat alam natin yung process so that alam din natin kung anong klaseng bag ang dapat na gamitin natin during donation. Nakuha. Okay? So ito yung itsura ng single bag. As you can see, okay, you have here the tubing and then directly you have the needle. But if you have a double bag or triple bag, ayan, makikita, no, meron siyang connection. Okay? You have here the connection, okay, from the primary bag to the secondary bag, okay, or the satellite bag. We call this one yung mga bags na naka-attach sa primary bag. We call that generally as satellite bags. Okay? So I have also mentioned yesterday na inside this black bag, meron siyang anticoagulant and some bags actually contains additive solutions. No? So mainly for preserving the unit, blood bag unit, and to prolong the storage time. So another reason why we also add anticoagulant and additive solution, aside from it allows, no, prolonged storage of the blood, is also used, no, in order to maintain the fluid state of the blood, especially the pack RBC. Okay. What else? Okay, so we have to remember that when we perform blood donation, okay, with the use of these blood bags, we have to always maintain a closed system, closed system. So at all times talaga, even during the process of manufacturing the different components, it should always be maintained in a closed system. Because the moment na break natin yung closed system na yan, okay, it will definitely reduce the storage time of the blood. Okay? So once na na-cut natin yung closed system, okay, immediately yan, after nyan, okay, instead ng 42, okay, marireduce yung storage time. Kasi hindi na natin ma-assure ang sterility of our component. Okay? So basically, okay, what I'm trying to say is that we use the closed system in order to make sure the sterility or the sterile environment, okay, during the whole process of blood manufacturing. What else? Okay, so any component, no, any component that will show signs of contamination, okay, kailangan talaga siya immediately discarded. Okay, but there are also processes in the laboratory or in the facility na nag-go through ng investigation. So sometimes, kung hindi naman masyadong sure ikaw kung ano yan, or if you want to have some investigation of what happened to the bag, bakit na-contaminated, the process will be, okay, pag merong signs of contamination, okay, we have to quarantine the bag. So hindi lang pala tao ang kinu-quarantine, no? I-quarantine ang bag, okay, separate it from the rest of the bags, and then investigate kung anong nandoon. Is it really a true contamination? Okay, bakit nagkaroon ng contamination? Okay, para magkakaroon tayo ng corrective measures. Okay? Clear? Ayan. So, ito yung other. So, napakita ko na sa inyo itong single bag. Yan. And then you have the double bag. And then you have here also, okay, the triple bag. Okay? Ayan. Kita mo? Double lang din ako eh. Okay, double. So, this is the primary bag. And then you have here the satellite bags. No? And then you have, hindi magklaro kung ilan siya. Then primary, and then I think Persian. Basta anyway, okay, meron tayo, no, mag-count na lang mo the primary bag and then you count the satellite bags kung ilan siya. So if the total number of bags is apat, then you call it as quadruple. If the total number of bags, including the primary bag, is tatlo, then you call it as triple bag. Okay, so kasali sa counting natin yung primary bag always. Klaro? Okay? Okay, so sinabi ko na sa inyo kung ano yung pwede natin ma-prepare based on the type of bag that we are going to use. Again, sabi ko, okay, please take note, if it's a single bag, Okay, ang pwede nating ma-prepare dyan is only whole blood. Okay? And then if we are going to use the double bag, okay, we're going to use the double bag, ang pwede nating ma-prepare dyan is the plasma and the packed RBC. Okay? So, and then if we are going to use the triple bag, pwede nating ma-separate dyan is si platelet, si plasma, and si packed RBC. And then if we are going to use the quadruple bag, then we can still prepare fractionization of the plasma. Kasi pwede natin yung fresh frozen plasma, kaya upon freezing, pwede pa tayong makaproduce ng cryoprecipitate from the fresh frozen plasma. Diba, sabi natin, once na-separate na natin, have your packed RBC, your packed RBC where goes to the packed RBC goes to the refrigerator for storage. Diba? Yung platelet for storage, saan ilalagay? Platelet agitator, maintained at temperature 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. Okay? And then you have your fresh plasma, which will be then placed in the freezer. Kaya ang tawag natin dyan is the fresh frozen plasma. Tama? Okay? So the fresh frozen plasma now, meron pa yan siyang, if we have the intention to prepare a cryoprecipitate from our fresh frozen plasma, then we have to what? We have to freeze the fresh frozen plasma with another backpack. So after freezing, we're going to thaw it. Okay, upon thawing, makikita natin na merong formation of crystals. Okay, so those crystals are actually your cryoprecipitate. So kunin na naman natin yung cryoprecipitate. Nakuha. So that's why meron tayong apat na bags. Okay? Klaro. So yung sa cryoprecipitate, nandun na yung mga coagulation factors na kakailanganin natin or kakailanganin ng patient. Huwag naman sa atin. No? Nakuha. Okay, then you have here the anticoagulant preservative solutions and its storage condition. So, as I have mentioned yesterday, na we cannot really prevent na magkaroon ng biochemical changes in blood upon withdrawal from the donor, okay, and upon storage. Okay, so, and, okay, especially on the component ng PAC-RBC and whole blood. So, hindi talaga natin maiiwasan na magkaroon ng biochemical changes in the PAC-RBC and whole blood once it is already being stored. Okay, so that is why, as I've said, it is necessary to incorporate preservative solutions such as your anticoagulant and additive solution in the component. This is basically to minimize the effect of biochemical changes and also to maximize the shelf life of our blood components. Nakuha to? Ha? Yan. So, there is an agency that is primarily responsible in ensuring that correct storage limit and temperature criteria of each preservative solutions are met. No, so, merong isang agency talaga na yun yung kanilang main trabaho to ensure that there is correct storage limit and correct temperature criteria in the preservation of the blood. And that is via your Food and Drug Administration. So, it's the FDA. Okay? And there are basically a lot of approved preservative solutions. Depende na lang talaga sa blood bank facility, okay, on what particular solution that we are going to use. No? Kasi sabi nga natin, di ba, ano yun? Meron tayong CPD, CPD, di ba? A1, A2, okay, we have the ACD. So all of this are your preservative solutions. So it actually depends on the blood bank kung ano yung gagamitin nila. So, depende po na sa ilahang contact na manufacturer kung asa sila naka-tie up. Yun. So, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, bakit doon mas matagal ang storage life ng aking blood? Dito bakit doon 42 days or bakit doon 35 days? Bakit dito 21 days? Because again, that will depend on the preservative solution or anticoagulant that was used. Klaro? So, regardless whether kung saan klaseng preservative solution ang igamit, what is basically important is that this preservative solutions or the anticoagulant preservative should be able to support at least, ito, take note of this, okay? Ang pinaka-importante or bottom line dito, no? Hindi tayo masyadong particular kung ilang days yung storage life, but more on, okay, mas particular tayo na mag-serve sa purpose yung pagdagdag natin ng preservative solution. And this purpose is to at least, no, okay, support at least 75% of the original RBC. Support at least 75% of the original RBCs in the recipient circulation. Kasi sabi na natin, no, we cannot be really sure or we cannot really be certain, no, na kung ano yung status of the blood inside the donor, yun din talaga yung maibibigay niya sa recipient. Because nga sabi natin, the moment the blood is withdrawn and stored, meron talagang biochemical changes. Okay, we cannot prevent that from happening. That's why ang goal na lang talaga natin dito is to what? Minimize, no? Biochemical or physical changes. Okay? And okay, make sure that the blood is still able to support at least, or the additive solution can still support at least 75% of the original RBC in the circulation for at least 24 hours after transfusion with less than 1% hemolysis. So yun yung pinaka-goal natin. Again, ano yun? Support at least 75% of the original RBCs in the recipient circulation for at least 24 hours after transfusion with less than how many percent? 1% hemolysis. Klaro? So yun. So basically, itong mga biochemical changes that occurs in the blood upon storage is collectively known as, can you still remember anong tawag natin doon? Okay, itong mga biochemical changes that occurs in the blood upon storage is generally called what? Anong term natin dito? I think we have taken this up sa prelims. Anong tawag natin doon? Storage lesion. So we generally call these biochemical changes that occurs sa ating blood during storage as storage lesions. Nakuha? Okay, huwag kalimutan ha. So these are, okay, the following storage lesions. So ito na yung mga storage lesions natin. So number 1 is decrease in the viable cells. Okay, decrease in the viable cells or visible cells. Okay, mainly because cells present in the blood bag could either be senescent, ibig sabihin old, okay, or nearly matured, no? So dalawa lang naman, pwede nearly matured or old na yung dugo. Okay? So kaya there is really a possibility that there will be decrease in the viable, okay, cells in the blood, okay, collected. Okay, kasi hindi na wala naman tayong capacity na, ay, ikaw dito, nakawa kay labot. Kanilang ako akay young pa or nearly matured pa. Siyempre pag flow sa dugo na, sagol na. We have the old, the dying, okay, the new, sagol-sagol na yan. So that's why sabi nga natin, no, hindi talaga natin ma-assure na 100% maganda yung blood na naibibigay natin. But what is important is that at least 70% of that would be beneficial to the recipient. Okay? Ayan. So yun. Then, another is decrease in the pH. So, meaning the blood becomes more acidic. So, remember, pag there's decrease in the pH, ano ibig sabihin nun? Ano nangyayari sa blood? Nagiging acidic. Okay, so the acidity is basically due to the build-up of lactic acid. Now, the change in the pH, no, pag naging acidic yung pH, nag-low ang pH, that is merely because of the build-up of lactic acid. Okay? So, the reason bakit nag-build up ang lactic acid, anong reason? Because of what metabolism? Ano ba ang ginagamit ng cell? To produce energy. Kasi kailangan nila ng energy. Because of glucose metabolism. Because of course, that's the primary need of the cell in order for them to produce ATP. Kailanganin nila ng glucose. Okay? So that is basically, the lactic acid there is the what? The byproduct of glucose metabolism. Nakuha? Gets? Okay, kaya nagkakaroon ng build-up of lactic acid. And once there is a build-up of lactic acid, then meron talaga tayong tinatawag na storage dissolution, which is decrease in the pH. Okay? Yan. Okay, aside from decrease in the pH, ano pang nagdi-decrease? Decrease in the sodium level. So, decrease in the sodium level. Okay? Not only sodium, but there will also be decrease in ATP, decrease in 2,3-DPG. So, yan tatlo, magdi-decrease yan. So, basically, kaya yan, andyan siya sa figure na baba. Okay, please remember ha. Okay, sino sa mga storage lesion ang decrease? Okay, so you have viable cells, pH, sodium, ATP, and 2,3-DPG. Okay, bakit? Mainly because the cells also becomes inactive due to depletion of glucose sources. Kasi pag nasa-store mo na siya, okay, at na-use up na nila ang glucose, ano mangyayari? Mag-deplete or mag-decrease ang glucose supply. So, mag-decrease ang glucose supply, what will happen? Okay, nagiging inactive yung cell kasi wala na siyang source of energy. Tama? Gets? Okay, hence, the reason why we need to incorporate, anong dapat natin i-incorporate? Why the need to incorporate what? Mga anticoagulant preservative. Okay, that is to give, okay, the required, okay, carbohydrate source, no, para mo continue o metabolize ang atong blood. Okay, ang metabolism sa atong blood. Okay, and survive for a couple more days. Nakuha? Okay, kaya yan nag-extend yung life niya because we are actually giving, no, kung ano yung kailangan niya as a source of energy. Okay? Gets? Okay, so remember also that I've mentioned na aside from decrease in sodium and ATP, nagde-decrease din yung 2,3-DPG. Ano nga nangyayari? Bakit ano nga nangyayari pag nag-decrease yung 2,3-DPG natin? What is DPG by the way? Diphosphoglycerine. So it is what? Important. Okay, it is important in the affinity of oxygen. So it is important in oxygen affinity. So ano nangyayari pag nag-decrease ang 2,3-DPG? Nahihirapan ngayon ang pag-separate ng hemoglobin and oxygen. So, ibig sabihin, kakabit yung oxygen, maa-affix si oxygen sa hemoglobin. Remember that the main responsibility of circulating blood is to distribute oxygen, no, to the tissues of the body. So, pag depleted ang 2,3-DPG, okay, hindi niya ma-serve yung kanyang purpose kasi nakadikit yung oxygen sa kanya. Okay, kaya kailangan natin mataas, target natin is tumaas yung 2,3-DPG para maganda yung circulation of oxygen throughout the body of the patient. Nakuha? Okay? Okay, ayan. So, 2,3-DPG, okay, take note, 2,3-DPG is necessary for the red cells to release and supply oxygen. So, 2,3-DPG is important in the release, okay, and supply oxygen to the body. So what else? Yan. So, kaya in some cases, no, we're in, kasi habang tumatagal, by the way, yung pag-store natin ng ating blood, okay? Kasi di ba, may mga blood that can be stored at 21 days, may ibang mga blood na masustore natin up to 35 days or 42 days, okay? But generally, no, if the physician, kaya may minsan huwag kayong magtaka, no, na intern mo, okay? Kasi may nakalagay talaga doon, fresh, whole blood. Yan sa inyo, may mga request dyan na fresh, whole blood. Pag sinabi mo fresh, whole blood, ibig sabihin freshly collected whole blood. or fresh PRBC. Ibig sabihin, freshly collected RBC. Bakit may mga indications na ganyan? Hindi nila ayaw ng mga doctors minsan na ang i-release ng blood bank are stored. Why? Gusto nila fresh. Anong mga cases kaya ng patient ang nangangailangan ng fresh whole blood? In relation to 2,3-DPG. Kasi sabi natin, di ba, habang tumatagal yung storage, nagkakaroon ng great chance na dumidecrease yung 2,3-DPG. Pag dumidecrease yung 2,3-DPG, yung affinity of oxygen to the red blood cells will increase. So therefore the distribution of oxygen will be less to the tissues, right? So anong mga cases? More of newborns. Why? Because hindi pa kaya ng lungs ng newborn to supply its own oxygen. Diba? Lalo na if newborns are in for transfusion, ibig sabihin may problema yun. Tama? So, pag binigyan mo siya ng old blood, di niya mahatag ang purpose. Dapat ito magtabang para makacirculate ang oxygen sa iyaha. Tama? Kaya in case na newborns ang mga patient, dili yun din na advice to give stored blood. Kailangan freshly collected blood. Okay? Yan. So, and then, depende talaga yan kung ano ang case ng patient. So, dito mo buot sa doktor, ha? Kung sa iyang request, maudyo na itong ihatag because it's the doctor who knows the case of the patient. Amang may uban namin, ina lang gudi mo, wala ba yan may ana? Ina lang yung doktor na amin diri 5 days old, 6 days old, 7 days old. Depende din yan sa doctor because at the end of the day, if the doctor have to really decide, so syempre kung wala talagang available na fresh, ito lang yun, the doctor might settle. But that actually depends, no? So, aside from those na nagde-decrease, meron din tayong ano yung mga nagde-decrease. You have your hemoglobin and the level of potassium. Okay? What is the reason? Bakit nag-i-increase ang level of hemoglobin? Because upon prolonged storage, greater ang tendency for blood hemolysis. Diba? So once there is hemolysis, anong nare-release? Hemoglobin. Kaya nag-i-increase si hemoglobin. Nakuha? Okay? Ayan. Not only hemoglobin and even the intracellular anions such as your potassium. Okay? Klaro? Ayan. So, primarily, the reason why nag-i-increase hemoglobin and potassium, that's because of hemolysis. Okay? So, pag nag-undergo na ng hemolysis yung dugo, nagdi-decrease yung level of hemoglobin because of the release during hemolysis. Question? Okay, so let's go to the different components of our anticoagulant. No? So first and foremost, we have dextrose. Okay, ito yung mga nasa loob ng ating preservative solutions. Okay, so hindi lang anticoagulant ang nandoon, ha? It's not only the anticoagulant ang nandoon sa ating preservative solution. Okay, but it contains a lot. Now, one of that is the anticoagulant citrate. But a lot more is there. Okay, so ayan. So first of all, basically the purpose of this preservative solution, the goal is to preserve the blood component, particularly the red blood cells. So first of this is you have the dextrose. So anong purpose ng dextrose? Is to support, di ba sabi natin, ang main, pag nasa ating katawan, yung dugo, ano ang kanyang main source of energy? Glucose. Pag nakalabas na yan, then we have to give what? Okay, the source para mag-continue ang generation of energy nila. And that will be in the form of, dextrose. Okay? Ayan. Okay. Then you have adenine. Okay? Adenine basically acts as substrate for red cell ATP synthesis. So yun yung purpose. So take note of the purpose of each of the chemical. So you have dextrose that supports ATP generation. by glycolytic pathway. And then you have also adenine, which acts as a substrate for red cell ATP synthesis. Then citrate, of course, is the one that will prevent coagulation by chelating calcium. And aside from that, it will also protect the blood or the red cell membrane from hemolysis. So yun yung purpose of citrate. No? Not only to prevent coagulation, but it also protects the red blood cell from hemolysis. And then you have your sodium biphosphate. Kaya anong purpose ng sodium biphosphate? It will act as a sodium biphosphate. Diba, may tendency na mag-decrease ang pH. Diba? So, anong purpose ni sodium biphosphate? To act as a buffer, okay, to maintain the pH. Diba? Yeah. So, may purpose bakit nilalagay itong mga component na ito, ha? Okay? What else? What else? Then you have your mannitol. Anong purpose ng mannitol? Okay. It will act as a osmotic diuretic. Okay. It will act as a osmotic diuretic that will that is going to stabilize the red cell in order to avoid hemolysis. Kasi, di ba? Okay, pag nagkaroon ng hemolysis, ano mag-i-increase? Hemoglobin and potassium. To prevent hemolysis, anong idadagdag natin? Mannitol. Because mannitol will act as an osmotic diuretic, okay, which is going to stabilize the red cell membrane. Ako ha? So, kaya pinakita kanina kung ano yung mga storage lesions. And then we have these preservatives added, okay, in order to prevent the storage lesions. Primarily so that we can extend the life of our blood during the time that it was removed from the host, okay, or the donor. Okay, so, no, hindi lang si mannitol, by the way, no? Sino pa, aside from mannitol, that is considered as a membrane stabilizer? Ha? Okay, citrate, kaya nga talaga it protects the red cell membrane. No? It also acts as a stabilizer. Okay, don't forget. So basically, all these chemicals will have to work together in order to preserve the blood component. Okay, particularly what blood component? Particularly what blood component? PAC-RBCs. Okay, and of course, whole blood. Okay, kasi nandun din ang PAC-RBC sa whole blood. Okay? So baka mamaya unya PAC-RBC na pag magawa si whole blood dito, i-disregard ninyo. Ang answer na dito, A and B. Diba? Gets, guys? Common sense. Okay, then you have your the anticoagulant or the preservative and the number of days, okay, na pwedeng ma-store natin ang ating dugo gamit itong mga preservative or anticoagulant na ito. So, to start off, you have your CPD or your citrate phosphate dextrose. Again, CPD is citrate phosphate dextrose. Dali lang kayo memorize nun, guys, no? Because sa toy letter, nag-start mo. Hindi na mo kinahanglan maghimog sarili ninyong acronym. Tama? Ay? Ayan. And then you have also, yan, CPD2, CP2D or the CPD2, okay, that's citrate phosphate 2 dextrose. Okay, both of them, no, can prolong, okay, the storage life to 21 days. Okay, and then you have also your CPDA1. Okay, bakit A1? Saan galing yung A? Okay, from adenine. No, from adenine. So, that is to prolong the storage life to 35 days. Okay? So, as you can see, okay, the CPDA1 is quite different from your CPD and CP2D. Okay, why? Because dito sa dalawa, 21 days lang, while dito sa CPDA1, it's up to 35 days. Okay, simply because there is the addition of adenine. Okay, so the addition of the adenine will prolong the storage life to 35 days. Then aside from that, you have also the ACD. Okay, anong meaning ng ACD? Acid citrate dextrose. Okay, ginagamit pa ba yan siya masyado ngayon? Rarely. Why? Why? Kasi nga, di ba, nag-add na nga tayo ng buffer to maintain the pH. Eh, gamit pa tayo ng acid. Di ba? Murag, di ba? Gets nyo ang point? Okay, kaya hindi na siya ginagamit ngayon. Kasi found out that it can all the more decrease the pH if they use the acid, okay, citrate dextrose. Okay, klaro? Okay. Next, so if ever ACD is used, okay, it can only store the blood for 21 days. Ano man siya? Ayun yan. Okay, then, okay, then you have also your, after ACD, you have your AS1, okay, and AS5. AS1, ano ibig sabihin ng AS1 and AS5? Ano ibig sabihin ng AS1 and AS5? Anong AS? Additive solution 1, additive solution 5, additive solution 3, no? So, ang AS dyan stands for additive solution. Klaro? Okay. So, uy, medyo, samot na nagdiman ang mga students na, PowerPoint na lang. Uy, minsan na, Jude. Ayan. So, AS1 and AS5, okay, basically contains dextrose, adenine, mannitol, and saline. So, again, take note ha, yung naka-open close, these are the components present in both AS1 and AS5. So, the addition of additive solution can actually prolong the storage life of the blood. Okay, ibig sabihin, pag gumamit ka ng CPD at nag-add ka ng additive solution, saan ka nga nag-add ng additive solution? Anong component of the blood? Okay, PAC-RBC. So, if you use CPD at nag-add ka ng additive solution, okay, either it's additive solution 1 or additive solution 5, it will prolong the life of your component, no, na PAC-RBC from 21 to 42. What about, ma'am, pag ang ginamit ko, ma'am, is, CPDA1? Ilang days ang storage life? Ha? CPDA1 pero nag-add ako ng additive solution. Ha? Ano ang magiging storage life ko na ngayon, ma'am? Ha? Still 40. Okay? Klaro? So if you use CPD, okay, at nagdagdag din ng additive solution from 21 magiging 42. Pag gumamit tayo ng CPDA1, okay, from 30, add tayo ng additive solution from 35, it will, klaro? Okay. So, the same for additive solution 3, 42 din, okay, 42 din, okay, but this time, okay, it replaces, bakit 3? Anong gi-replace niya? Gi-replace niya ang mannitol, okay, makita niyo, mawala na ang mannitol sa AS3, it was replaced by citrate and phosphate. Okay? Ayan. So, what's the function of mannitol? Dito. Anong purpose basically ng mannitol? Sabi natin kanina, anong purpose niya? Okay, membrane stabilizer. Okay, so ano ngayon ang magiging purpose ni citrate and phosphate? Still pa rin. Membrane stabilizer. Diba? Okay, sabi ko nga, it replaces mannitol. Tama? So ano magiging purpose niya? Membrane stabilizer pa rin. Ha? Okay, do not forget. Okay. Ano pa bang meron dito? Na-check ko lang. Baka may makalimutan ko. Okay. sila to prolong the life. Okay? In addition, no, these anticoagulants, preservatives, additive solution can also help to maintain the fluidity of the blood. Okay? Especially the pang-RBC. Kasi without it, no, magiging more sticky yung ating pang-RBC. So that's why no, pag nag-add tayo ng additive solution sa ating pang-RBC, okay, sabi na natin, saan lang tayo nag-add ng additive solution sa pang-RBC. Okay, so aside from extending the life, okay, another advantage of the addition of addition of additive solution to pang-RBC is it will increase the fluidity of the pang-RBC. Para mas easier lang siya to transfuse to the patient. Okay? Ma'am, paano man pag hindi nag-incorporate ng pang-RBC, ng additive solution? Because hindi naman talaga parang hard yung requirement na kailangan all our pang-RBC should be added with, di ba, additive solution. So it's not actually mandatory. No? Kaya hindi din natin masasabi na lahat ng blood bank ay nagdadagdag ng additive solution. Okay? In fact, during sabagay, hindi na itong internship na ito, nawa pa ko makita na nagdagdag ng additive solution. Okay? So it's not really mandatory. Okay? So paano yan, ma'am? Pag hindi siya mandatory, tapos one of the advantage man kaya ng additive solution is to make the pang-RBC na fluid para easy siya i-transfuse sa patient. So paano yun? Ngayon, very sticky. Sana hindi din. Kasi the moment you express the plasma or you remove the plasma from the pang-RBC, nag-going kung dali kagahapon. Kalimot naman ko sa akong mga activities. So for example, okay, di ba? If this is your primary bag, okay, and this is for example your satellite bag 1, and then you have here your satellite bag 2, okay? But this one undergoes soft spin centrifugation. Okay? So pag ito, nag-undergo ng soft spin centrifugation, ito pala ito siya ang nag-undergo ng soft spin centrifugation. Okay? What will happen? Whole blood, ito is one, remember, what is in the primary bag is the whole blood. Saan galing? From our donor. Not patient. From our donor. Gawin mo ito patient. Ito siya nagay-dagdagan siya pa. Okay, pwede man na siya if it is autologous transfusion. Okay? Klaro, whole blood from our donor. Okay? After collection, it will undergo what? Soft spin. Okay? This is if we are going to manufacture platelet. Kaya nga kita ninyo, 3 bags ang nakalagay. Kasi our end goal is to manufacture platelet. So once we subject it to soft spin, okay, the result nito after soft spin centrifugation, this will result to 2 layers. Okay? The first layer, okay, will be your pang-RBC. Okay? The next layer will be your platelets-rich plasma or your PR. Okay? Klaro? Bakit platelet-rich plasma? Kasi ang platelet naapa diri sa imong plasma. Tama? Okay? So, take note ha, soft spin. Kasi in the event na nag-high spin ka diri, ano mangyayari? Upon centrifugation, your platelet will go with the pang-RBC. So what is in the plasma is mainly plasma with no platelet. Nakuha? So klaro ha? And once it is already mixed with the pang-RBC, you have no way of separating the platelet from the pang-RBC. That's why, if ma-end ka dito, tama? Yes? Okay? That is why, if you intend to manufacture platelet, you have to start with soft spin. That is to separate your pang-RBC from your platelet-rich plasma. Okay? Nakuha? Now, okay, after, so bali siguro nito, siguro lang and then, after this one, para ma-separate na nimo ning duha. Kasi di ba, pag express nimo ano mangyayari nito? Okay? Pag express nimo with the expressor, okay, na kay expressor, ibutang nimo ni siya sa expressor, so ina-I lever ang expressor, iyahan nang i-push itong liquid papunta dito sa third bag. Dili, tama. Kaya, primary bag pa din hapon guys. Sorry. Primary bag pa din hapon. So, this is your satellite bag. Kasi, sa primary bag, you have your whole blood. Once it undergoes centrifugation, your primary bag, okay, instead na whole blood, masa-separate siya into PAC-RBC and platelet-rich plasma. Nakuha? Then, after, okay, this will be subjected now to second spin. Okay? The second spin is the hard spin. Okay? Sa hard spin, okay, it will what? It will separate what? Your platelet and plasma. Kasi, remember, okay, remember that from this primary blood bag, kukunin mo itong platelet-rich plasma papunta dito. So, ano nandito? Platelet-rich plasma. Anong nandito sa, kasi natanggal na ito, di ba? Natanggal na ni, kaya ibalhin na diri. What remains in the primary bag is your red blood cells. Are you following? Ha? Uy, people, diba? Are you following? Sige daw, Bit. Sige daw. Ang sa akong gingon? The lady in red? Would you care to share it with us? Is it related to our topic?
Yung process ko,
Ha?
yung process ko, hindi ko pa nakakita.
Ay, yung process? Sige, paminaw, para di ka mawala. Okay? Nakuha. So, okay, ang naiwan dito is PAC-RBC, the platelet-rich plasma is transferred to the next bag. Tama? Okay. So, pag na-transfer na atong PRP diri, okay, remember that our goal is to manufacture the platelet. So, ano mangyayari? Okay, you have what? Kasi sabi natin, okay, satellite bag 2. Okay? Yan. Kaya meron tayong primary, satellite bag 1, bag 2. Total of tatlo, we call it as triple bag. Tama? Okay. So, since we wanted to separate the platelet from the platelet-rich plasma, this will again undergo a second spin. Okay, this time, hard spin will be applied. This is to separate your plasma from your platelet. So, after centrifugation, second spin, ano mangyayari? It will now separate, okay? At saan mapupunta ang ating plasma? Plasma will still be here. Platelets will be here. Nakuha? Tama? Nakuha? So, bagwan pa din. Kaya maupa man siya. Tama? Na-separate lang siya. Tama? Bagwan pa. Wala pa na transfer. Now, since we wanted to separate the platelet from the plasma, therefore, we have the satellite bag 2. Okay? Tama? So, we're going to again place this in an expressor. Okay? Push the expressor to transfer the plasma to here. So, ano na nandito? Plasma. Anong nandito? Tanggal ang plasma. Nakuha? Gets? Ha? So, inana ang process. Gets? Okay? So, ngayon, saan tayo nag-a-add ng additive solution? Dito. Sa PAC-RBC. Kasi ito siya ang nangangailangan ng energy. Ito yung tendency na mag-decrease ang pH. Okay? Because of course of lactic acid accumulation, ito siya ang na-ay possibility na ma-hemolyze. Diba? Kaya we need to stabilize the red cell. Kaya saan tayo nag-a-add ng additive solution? Dito. Na-gets? Ha? Okay, bubble. Okay, nakuha? Do you have any questions so far? Yes, matagal. Kasi pila ka hours ang centrifugation? Ha? Mga 1 hour, depende. Ha? Basta it will take kaya nga pag nangailangan tayo ng, for example, platelets, dili na siya ito na, okay na ala kay donor, dugay na. Usahay, it will take 12 hours before ma-release ang platelet. Na naman, okay, before, pag once na nag-donate ang donor nito, okay, maski pag mama, papa na nito, okay, process is really to screen the blood first. So mag-undergo pa nag-ala of screening test. Screening test for hepatitis, okay, isa pa, HIV, syphilis, malaria, and everything else. Okay? Then, after na hours in the testing alone pa lang. Okay? So, after the testing, okay, ano centrifugation, processing, no? Centrifuge siya. Okay? Pag platelet na siya, buha ka spin. Diba? Later. I'll show you later a picture of a centrifuge. Hindi siya parang sa centrifuge sa ako. The same concept, nag-yukon siya, but it's a bigger machine. Mura siya bigger pa sa atong autoclave. Yes, from the first day counting is pag na-express na-separate na siya.
Like platelet alone.
Ha?
Pag platelet na lang yung nasa bag.
Ay, from the collection. Kasi, pero immediate magod na siya. Pag collect mo, imong gida na process. Hindi mo na siya una, collect mo ka nung pa na mo i-process. So, immediately na. Yes. Ha? Oh, the same. Katong kanang sakayan nato sa katong monospath. Ito? Pareho siya. Ato kapag. So that's an open agitator. We have also a closed agitator kung asa naa siya sa inside the incubator. So you have an incubator, wala siya incubator lang gawon nato din ha. Tapos naa siya yung mga platforms inside. Pero katong mga platforms ay tuyo-tuyo. Okay, nakuha. And then you have your rejuvenation solution. Gusto na tani? Ha?
Sa wire ata.
Sa wire? Anong wire? Ito na wire. May siya na, ma'am. Lecture video dyan ka ni ma'am. Hindi ko kailangan mag-lecture video kaya mas kami mo drawing sa blackboard. Diba? Ikakatodo o drawing sa ano? Wala din siya. Anyway, you have the rejuvenation solution. Okay? You have the rejuvenation solution. Okay? So, this is basically added in order to... What's the purpose of rejuvenation solution? Rejuvenation solution. Anong purpose? Okay? In order to restore 2,3-DPG. Okay? And also ATP. So to restore 2,3-DPG and to restore ATP. Okay? Bakit? In order to salvage. Ano ba salvage ang term? The what? The expired RBs. So for example, nag-expire na siya. Tapos this blood is rare. Diba? So, di siya usual ginabuhat ha. Okay? Ginabuhat lang ni siya for the following reason. Number one, the blood is extremely rare. Mga O negative, mga negative, RH negative, blood, Ihbb blood, okay, rare. What else? If the blood is an autologous donation. Ibig sabihin, ako, I am scheduled for surgery at this time. So before my surgery, nag-donate, ikuhaan ko og dugo to prepare me, to be prepared para i-transfuse sa ako during surgery. because I do not want any blood to be transfused to me. Gets? Okay, so ikuhaan ko, store akong dugo. Ang problema, na-extend akong surgery schedule. Okay, ma-expire na akong dugo. So, we need to rejuvenate it, to extend the life. Did you get me? Nakuha? Okay. Ayan. So, kailan tayo, question, kailan natin nilalagay ngayon ang rejuvenating solution? Kailan tayo naglalagay ng rejuvenating solution? Kailan? Pag expired na or before ma-expire? Before ma-expire. For example, okay, ma-expire siya May 1. Okay? So, May 1, nagdagdag ka ng rejuvenating solution. Okay? Expired siya. Extend the life. Okay? Pero pila lang kaadlaw? Okay? Only? Extend na siya. Oh, tulong kaadlaw. Okay? So, kung May 1 ka nagdagdag, it will be extended until? Ha? So, dapat within that, until May 4, magamit ang dugo. If not, it should be discarded. Kaisa lang guys. Huwag masyadong abusado. Okay? Wala na. Wala second rejuvenation. Nakuha? Gets? Ay. And then, yan o, added to, kita na na, added to expired blood not more than 3 days siya ma-extend. Okay?
Alright, after ma-expire talaga, ma'am. Alright, ma-expire siya ngayon, then bukas na palagyan. Bawal yun.
Lang ah. Ang mali di ay ko guys, sorry. Ang extension di ay, sorry, 10 years. 10 years. Kaya freeze and store up to 10 years. Okay, 10 years. Ang 3 days pala, dapat within 3 days ka makadagdag o rejuvenating solution. So, ayan. Pag nag-expire siya, for example, May 1, tapos nakalimot ka butang o rejuvenating solution, pwede pa siya ma-extend o 3 days. So, that would be from May 1 to May 4, dapat madagdagan siya ng rejuvenating solution. Pag dili nyo madagdagan, then it should be discarded. But once na na-add nyo mo siya o rejuvenating solution, okay, it will be extended up to the next 10 years. But guys, it needs to be freeze. Should be freeze. Okay? Ayan. Okay, but guys, ayan, okay, nag-a-add tayo, pag freeze natin, dili na ito, gibutan na, nagdagdag ta o rejuvenating solution, diretso na ito freeze. Dili. Aside from the rejuvenating solution, we need to add glycerol. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na glycerolization. Kasi magdadagdag tayo ng glycerol. Why? Remember, anong nangyayari pag freeze natin? Nagpo-form ng ice crystals. Anong nangyayari sa ating blood pag di mo nang nag-ice crystals? Ma-hemolyze. And we don't want that one to happen. That's why we add glycerol. Because glycerol will prevent ice crystallization. Nakuha? Ha? Klaro? Okay. Yes.
Pag i-revive mo ang red blood cell mo, good as new na din mo.
Pag na?
Pag na-revive mo,
Oh,
good as new ang
good as new. What you
ang red blood cell mo.
Oh, ano po siya? Pareho lang. Kung sa to yung status, padayo na siya yung ato yung status. Kumbaga, ma-maintain siya at that point kung sa iyang status when it was rejuvenated. Nakuha? Okay, the rejuvenating solution actually contains what? Anong composition ng rejuvenating solution? PIPA. Okay. PIPA is an acronym that means pyruvate, inosine, So yun yung composition ng, do not forget, anong composition ng rejuvenating solution? PPAP. Okay? So anong process ulit natin? Okay, anong process natin in the addition of rejuvenating solution? Okay, so RBC unit is added with rejuvenating solution. Again, anong process? Pagdagdag ng rejuvenating solution. So the PAC RBC unit will be added with rejuvenating solution and it will be what? Incubated for how long? For 1 hour. At what temperature? At 37 degrees Celsius. After 1 hour of incubation, it will be immediately subjected to freezing. But of course, before natin i-freeze, dadagdagan natin ng glycerol in order to prevent ice crystallization. So how long will it be frozen? Up to 10 years, but it can be shorter pag kailangan mo na siyang gamitin. But we should not be transfused immediately to the patient. Ano dapat gawin prior to transfusion? Of course, ito sa inyo, no? Kailangan i-freeze ba yan ninyo, no? Saan pa? Ito. Diba? Manugto si Buhaton. I-wash. Why is washing very important? Nandiyan na. To remove the glycerol. Bakit kailangan i-remove si glycerol? Because glycerol is toxic to the kidneys. Masira ang kidney ng ating pasyente. Nakuha? So it's all there. Okay? Ayan. But is this commonly done? No. Why? Because it is time consuming. Okay? It is time consuming. But if the need arises, ano yung kailangan, ano yung mga provisions? Kung na gagawin natin ang rejuvenating rejuvenation, number 1, if we are dealing with a very rare blood type. Number 2, if it is an autologous transfusion and the patient insists to use his or her own blood. But of course, patient naman ang magbabayad sa buong process. You understand? Okay? And there is only one brand of rejuvenating solution that is approved by FDA, and that is only your ay? Klaro? Yes? Gets up to here? College? Okay? So, we're done? Ayan, this one is the centrifuge. Yes.
Malaki.
Ilan lang to? 1, 2, 3, ayan, 6 yan. 6 yan, pero you can place 12 bags here kasi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, the standard is this size and it can accommodate 12 bags at a time. Okay, so ganito. Di ba mura siya autoclave? Okay, so yun. And then we're going to continue. I think I will have to post this na lang as a video lecture. Okay, but there will be 2 video lectures to be posted na for this topic. Yung isa, I will be the one to make, and then the part 2, I have a copy of Ma'am Bea's video lecture, so to post ko dito. Okay, to complete the